Namaste. Welcome to Powerhouse Tarot, y'all. Let's get it. We got a message for Scorpio. Scorpio. Let's get it. All right, messages for Scorpio. Sun, Moon, Rise of Venus, all places with Scorpio here. Check, check. Okay, so it's something that could have been disappointing you. I feel like you got the courage to face something, and this was a personal thing, something personal for Scorpio. You're challenging yourself right now to face this, and this is difficult for some of you guys. This affected your money, it affected your success, your happiness, just practical happiness, and that was because you were choosing and putting something before yourself. Okay, and I feel like right now you're in this space where now you're taking advantage of positive um, self-care. Okay, with the Lovers I'm seeing. And some Russia Queen of Cups. I feel like you're focusing now more on your finances where there was some sort of loss or something like that. Now you've gained a more interesting perspective or way to gain finances or to make your finances work together. Okay. Spirit is saying be patient with what you're manifesting right now. There were things in the past that, were difficult or very, let's just say you took your time in learning these certain lessons about what you needed to do, right? So I feel like you have to just be patient when it comes to your success. I feel like success is coming in, but after you had to learn like kind of a lesson in what you were doing, okay? Sometimes when we do things against ourselves, it's worse than people doing things towards us, right? And I feel like the more that you embrace this sense of awareness, Scorpio, it puts you in a place of strength, so keep that in mind. Yeah. Some of you guys, you felt like you were doing it with lovers or partners, and some of us were blaming the partnership, the connection, instead of blaming ourselves because it was us who were putting ourselves into whatever that situation was. And I feel like now you're gaining some sort of strength or rest from that situation, so you can kind of take a look at it from a different perspective, what that relationship really was about, and why you were involved in it from the beginning, right? And so that helps free up your mind when you invite in truth and awareness, right? And so that's the main thing that I'm getting for Scorpio, whether this be in concern to a relationship or not. This frees up your choices, your perspective, how you get to moving forward. Now that you have the truth, right? What do you do with it, right? You release it and you surrender to your truth, right? There's no more of a fight, right? And I feel like for Scorpio too, tell me about the Chariot. So in the past, it might have been difficult for you to really like listen to your spirit guides or like your higher self. Let's say that for you, Scorpio, okay? Because that's what it really was. It was your higher self. It was difficult for you to listen to your higher self and do what was right for you, what you needed to do. And this was whether it was about love, whether it was about money, whether it was about relationship, whatever it was, right? You now being in this space where you want to be accountable. This is all about big accountability messages. And even if this isn't you being accountable, you wanting that for yourself, right? And sometimes that's enough to spark something when it comes to us starting action and having action in something. So I'm seeing action, wanting to create more than just a thought, but an action behind a process behind uh, standing in purpose and being able to trust your spirit guides and that they'll guide you through tough situations, you know. But that was very difficult for you in the past, and I feel like you're walking away from that energy, being able to say, you know what, I trust you, Spirit Council. If this is what I need to do, this is what we are going to do, right? And trusting that things will work out, right? some people are not pleased about your new schedule, but I'm getting Scorpio. This is really you, like not liking it, but in a way you're kind of glad that you made this new um, transformation. You invited in this new transformation because I feel like it's a word for it, right? It's like Scorpio is rebranding your image, the way that people see you, the way that people perceive you, um, etc. The way that people receive you. All these things, you're changing that, okay? And I feel like that was a big thing in the past because Scorpio on some real shit really just doesn't give a fuck about how nobody feels about them, right? But deep down Scorpio does, right? And it was just only to the people that you cared about, right? And I feel like you're only restructuring that because in your heart that resonates true for you. You cared about who you cared about, and yeah, you didn't want to hurt anybody, but at the same time, it's like maybe those relationships happened the way that they did for a reason, right? There was some sort of significance, right? Yeah, because it says, I see clearly. Okay, so I think you definitely, for my Scorpios, you can see clearly in a situation. You know, I am willing to forgive. I breathe love into my vision, and I see with compassion and understanding. My clear insight is reflected in my outer sight. Okay, you can see clearly what it is you have to do. Okay, moving forward for my Scorpio. Let's get one more power thought. I release all fears and doubts. Okay. And that's the big thing for you, Scorpio, because I feel like, not to say that you're a Debbie Downer, but right, being in that energy kind of blocks your perception sometimes. And so when that happens, right, you're able to see clearly when you release those fears and doubts. I am loved and I am safe. I now choose to free myself from all destructive fears and doubts, right? Because I feel like that's another thing, Scorpio. Like maybe you were being like really destructive in the mind and in the heart, holding fears and doubts there, right? I accept myself and I create peace in my mind and in my heart. Okay, big on the energy of release for my Scorpios. I love you so effing much. Let me know how this message resonated with you, Scorpio.